Hello, everyone. The following is a series of deleted scenes from our recent April Fool's special. I hope you enjoy.
Hey guys, we're back. And
Yeah,
for the
bro.
oh no!
We're back, bro. So,
Oh Jesus! Like some Northern Ireland there. Toffee, of course.
Hi there. So,
Oh yeah.
welcome back to fucking Northern Ireland. So today we're going to be reviewing some Tayto crisps. Do they have potatoes in Northern Ireland?
I think they do, but I think it's different to the ones in the Republic.
Yeah, probably. They probably have they're probably soaked in tea to keep them loyal.
We drink a lot of tea here as well, you know.
Yeah, but it's
In
not
fact,
real tea.
I did some statistics on this one.
Oh.
Technically, the average Irishman drinks marginally more tea than the average Brit.
Yeah.
Do you want to die?
I mean, I checked the numbers.
Yeah.
Because,
Your numbers are irrelevant.
The average Brit drinks about 4.6 pounds worth of tea, as in like weight tea per year, and the average Irishman 4.7 pounds of tea.
Yeah. I think that's not even like the most in the world.
Potato water doesn't count.
It's like Turkey and Morocco drink more.
Bruh, they're bigger countries, but
This is slander.
Per person.
It is. I think they're counting Guinness as a form of tea because technically it's just fermented.
Oh my god! No, it's we have our two big brands, Lions and Barry's.
I bet they both taste like Tetley.
It's Tetley with extra steps.
That is an insult, by the way. If something tastes like Tetley, you're in fucking trouble.
No, Lions is it's owned by the same company as PG Tips. So,
do you drink it with milk?
Yes.
Then at least you're not you haven't relinquished too much of you haven't gone back to the primitive ways of the bloody Americans.
To be fair, I do drink my tea, which is usually Earl Grey, without milk.
French tea without milk? Wait, no, Earl Grey isn't French, is it? No, it is English.
It's basically tea with a
It's got orange extract in it.
It's not orange extract. It's basically bergamot extract, which is not strictly speaking and eating orange. It's almost entirely to look nice or to have a fragrance.
Okay.
Okay.
Earl Grey tea.
The more you know.
Only posh people drink Earl Grey.
I like the taste, and it doesn't need milk or sugar normally for me.
Tea, Earl Grey, hot.
I hate to tell you, the boundary to the north is in it kind of runs from like Cardiff to like the Wash.
That means that
Bristol is in the south.
Yeah, but Bristol
it's posh.
I mean, Bristol is posh. I'll give you that. But we are surrounded by country folk.
How can you listen to a Bristolian say, "All right, my lover, pass us one of them gurt pasties," and not think that is not posh? That is not posh.
Armex, I want to point out that you don't live that far from me.
Yeah, neither of them are North FC.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm not a stinky peasant, but with the argument here is you're not posh, you're not allowed.
Bristol is the only bastion of civilization in the southwest.
No, that's
changed my mind.
That's Bath. That's Bath. I mean, at least you don't live in Bridgewater. Then you'd have web feet.
I'm sorry, chat. This is two Britons having an argument about nonsense.
Bath.
Don't say nonsense too slowly, or they might think you're saying something else. Bath. Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Jacob Rees-Mogg enjoys his North Somerset constituency.
Yeah, you guys can fuck off to Bath.
All right, Bath. Yeah, I was in Bath the other day, and there was this posh fucker with a monocle.
Hey, that's a very weird hybrid accent.
No, that is legitimately what someone from Somerset that I know sounds like.
He's not wrong.
No. Like if you want to listen to someone who's not got very big brain and they're from like the fucking southwest, they're gonna sound like this. and they're like gonna be talking really slow and sort of condescending. But that's not because they think you're stupid. It's just they can't talk faster than they think.
Oh, lordy.
I'm sorry, chat. I am so sorry.
No, Laurie's finished.
I'm afraid I'm not quite familiar with as many German dialects to give examples here, but be thankful.
Fucking poor PG's here just going like,
shall we
what's
use
going
PG
on?
as our audience, and shall we explain this shit?
No, let's just let it be a mystery.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if the chat wants us to explain the mystery, we'll explain it. But that'll take some time to filter through.
I am still on the side of just let them be confused.
Anyway, I hope everyone enjoys Toffee. So pipe down, every fucker.
What?
That's a new one.
Okay, guys, we have to get through these speed radiators. What do we do?
I tell you what, man, those dang old doggone spoon trees are gonna and then when they get nose running,
Maybe we should talk to them.
Don't be retarded, Volvo. That'll never work.
Okay.
Hey, you know what, man? You know what they're gonna be able to. Hey, you know what, man? You know what they're gonna be able to. How about that dang old gun?
Good point, Calibri. What do you think, Speedo?
How about that dang old aliens, man? See, I wasn't one of them doggone aliens, man, but don't tell you when those aliens are dang old planet neither, man.
Ha! Calvin Harris, you are so random. Yeasty cunflap, shut your dick hole, Velcro.
Hey guys, have I told you how poised I get when I think about litter picker?
I think we should start by shooting the zebra.
And this time I was hanging out, this come along, and it was like, pew, 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 pew. And we just kept on running, and they talk about that dang old enclave, man. Last we saw that dang old cooler.
No, there's a village over there. 10,000 fists in my ass!
We can murder everyone and use their bodies to distract the SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh boy! And then we killed them. We killed them all! I still hear their screams. Women, children. Even as they crawled away, we slaughtered them. Their desperate pleas for mercy, everyone met with a bullet.
I could say that on stream.
And we're back again. I do apologise for the slight breakdown there. But, yeah, Toffee.
Was there a breakdown? I guess I just had the I just had the call muted while I watched the thing.
Breakdown.
I suppose I should mention for anyone in the chat who is unfamiliar that there are also subtitles if you watch it on YouTube, and the subtitles are
Wacky.
I had fun with them.
Yes, quite evidently.
Yeah.
But yes, you're right. Broke is every pony, woke every creature, bespoke every fucker.
God, that is so fucking. Those all-inclusive pronoun thingies are weird. They give me bad vibes in my brain.
Shut up, every fucker.
That one's fine. But you got to have that R sound at the end. You got to have that West Country or / Irish R at the end. Because if you don't, it just sounds stupid. Oh, shut up, every fucker.
So, chat, I'm going to leave what we do next up to you guys. What do you want us to do? We'll try our best to facilitate whatever nonsense you want.
Do I look like a fucking village leper?
I agree.
I mean, while we think of something to do, I can just talk about
absolutely not, Larways.
No, we're not
absolutely not.
We're not playing strip poker.
Nope.
I don't know if anyone would want to see that, to be honest with you.
Nope.
We might get blinded, though. That'd be a problem. Anyway, what do they want us to do?
Reading a speak chapter 7.
Oh,
that sounds a bit long.
Ooh.
Dramatic reading of Speak chapter 7.
Why specifically chapter 7, Chapman?
Does it have bad, naughty words in it?
Chapter 7, Priorities.
I know somewhere there exists a recording of me just reading like a random line from Fallout Equestria. I think it's somewhere in Chapter 4. But I was doing it in toffee voices.
Oh my god!
Yay!
And I was I think I used like text to speech for the characters who aren't in the party. I think I think the idea was floated in the thread one time of just me doing like a Fallout Equestria audiobook in toffee voices.
Upload that to your fucking YouTube channel.
I mean, I don't know.
Do you have a second channel where you upload random like shit?
No, I don't. But it's like I don't have a second channel for that. But also, I have absolutely no compunction about just putting that on my main channel. That said, that almost feels like a missed opportunity for like an April Fool's joke of just like, yeah, I'm doing a Fallout Equestria audiobook that is toffee style, and it would just be like select clips of just
Beautiful.
Oh yeah, you like present it as a trailer and then it never comes out.
Yeah.
But speaking of,
I think people would be happy with it as a trailer. People would just be
yeah. I mean, I would. I mean, if someone wanted me to like make the whole thing, I would just fucking die.
I mean, how much would they have to? How many beehives would they have to pay you to?
How many beehives?
Do recording.
Not the bees. No, not the bees.
Gallant, are you aware of the bees meme? By the way,
I don't
Probably
know if
not.
I am.
we were shitposting. We once offered to pay you to animate the entirety of FOE with bees.
Oh, I
instead
vaguely
of
remember
currency.
this.
We said, how many bees? And you actually did the maths.
Oh yeah,
which is
like
you.
Like a crazy person.
Yeah. How many boxes of cereals worth of bees is there?
Oh, fucking that time that I worked out how many boxes of cereal it would take to feed Tenpenny Tower, or Tenpenny Tower.
Actually, how many did you come up with?
Hang on, I do have
the
this.
verdict was it was enough. I think was.
The figure I came up with was 380,000 pony cereal years, which was just an estimation of how. Yeah, I estimated that there are about 1.3 billion boxes of cereal in the New York general area, which would be about enough to feed Tenpenny Tower for 3,800 years. If it was the only settlement in Manhattan.
And obviously, it wasn't massively wasted.
I think I might have accounted for that.
I wish I was massively wasted.
Yeah, I think I accounted for that with just some random percentages.
I'd like to do that, Catman, but I don't have that game. Unless you want me to wait for like a whole hour to download that game, then yeah, I don't think that's going to be an option to play that. I can play Fallout 4 with a bunch of horse mods. That is an option if you want to.
On Twitch. Why don't we play Minecraft? Why don't we do an epic Minecraft stream?
Oh my god!
Oh no!
Live, but with Fallout horses.
So the chat seems to like Fallout 4 as an option, but I want to just give you all a little of an insight what other options I was considering for this special. So what I had in mind originally was an interview with myself.
That's a bit onanistic.
Yes, basically I was going to have an interview with myself as the guest, asking myself questions about my show that slowly descended into madness and chaos.
You've probably got more fucking entertainment out of a piece of fucking toilet roll.
What are you doing, Arnex?
Oh yeah,
That's BG. His mic's gone fucked.
All right. Okay.
Unfortunate. My lapel thing came loose. Sorry about that.
Oh fuck.
So yeah, at a rough guess, a reading of Fallout Equestria would be about 50 hours long. So if I was, I'm just doing the. Actually, you just keep filling while I do some sums.
So the other option I had available to me for what I wanted to do instead of this, what I had in mind was getting on Somber, Armex, and who else? Who was the other person you suggested, Armex?
Basic.
And Basic.
Oh my god!
How about no?
This is the one that I was saying would be so spicy that the stream would just end after 15 minutes because everyone would just leave.
Yeah, the spice levels would be to the max. There'd be nothing but spice, and it wouldn't be flowing. So
yeah, at a rough guess, if I was just like reading and editing for
check Post-Apoc by the horse talk
hours
in
a
chat,
day.
by the way, just so you know, there's a bit more to add to your sums. If we
What?
were paying bees.
Oh wait, I mean, I was
okay.
just thinking you'd probably have to pay me about at least €2,000 to just like do this audiobook full time.
So for the sake of the chat, for that one fellow who doesn't know who Basic is the host of another FOE. Was the host of a FOE
it still
podcast.
comes out every now and then.
Is he still going, or has he just got it on hiatus?
I mean, we did the last one in like October.
He has very strong opinions.
I mean, this is basically just a case of getting two people with very strong opinions about Project Horizons in a thing with the author of Project Horizons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the logistics of getting that working would be interesting.
Yeah.
It would be. And this is not something I want to do because this will spell the end of my very short-lived career here.
I mean, you're not really allowed to... Actually, I won't make that joke. That's probably TOS uncensored.
So
let's just put it this way: that sort of content isn't allowed.
Anyway, long story short, too much spice, bad idea. Stream would be killed like 3 minutes after it would start.
Yeah, it's like putting not chalk and cheese, more like gasoline and a fucking
and nitroglycerin.
No. What did I say? Gasoline. I mean petrol and a lit match, and that would be what you would get.
In other news, I've just gone to like a random spot in Fallout Equestria, and I could just like do toffee voices for a bit.
I think they would find that very good. Gallant, you're recording this, right?
It's all being recorded, yeah. I was going to bring up
that.
I was going to start playing another episode of let's start recording another episode of Fallout Equestria 4. So, chat, what would you prefer? Toffee voices or Fallout Equestria 4?
Hey, yo, Jamie, pull that shit up.
As we now wait for a while just to see.
Yeah, it's fine. Like it's a couple minutes. They're only like 2 or 3 minutes behind us.
2 or 3 minutes? Bruh. Anyway, I think that the toffee voices would probably be the best option. Because video games are boring.
Of what this this audiobook from another reality would look like.
What do we do?
But yeah, while they're looking into that, why don't we just quickly pop up Fallout Equestria, see if we can find any particular excerpts that interest us, since we now have that time.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that while I just read the one that I found.
What about chapter 20.5, boys?
No.
How about no?
Nope.
All right, I'm just gonna start reading.
All right, I guess people want to listen to toffee voices.
Yeah.
If everyone in the chat wants to start giving, throw in some things they want to be read, we'll read them. Or rather, Horse will read them. I'll just be here, kind of twiddling my thumbs.
I can read things.
But I did the voices.
Oh, you did funny voice.
I do voices.
Right, go on, dance monkey. Go on.
Before anybody could Before any pony could protest, I explained. The Enclave is moving on the cathedral now. They'll be there in, a few hours? I looked to Calamity, who nodded my assessment. and we can't all go. Zenith shouldn't be moved anymore, especially not after Lifebloom uses his spell. With grudging reluctance, I added, and neither should the Hellhound. Velvet Remedy agreed quietly, staring back at her patients. Lifebloom was moving about Zen's bed, preparing to cast his trepanation spell. What's trepanation?
You don't know what
drilling a hole in your skull.
Trepanning is what it is.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Trepanning.
Lifebloom and I need to stay, she intoned, sparing me the task of saying it. She smiled sadly to Calamity. And you leave me to go! Firelight, I instructed. Keep them safe. The Balefire Phoenix hooted, perching up straight and giving a one-winged salute. Calamity admitted. He looked at me, his eyes wide and hurting. Brother. Then it's getting into like Reggie is in this scene, and I don't have a voice for Reggie, so. Yeah, Little Pip's voice is basically Sonic.
It's Sonic, but less.
It's just Sonic.
Oh, what is that one text-to-speech program people use for their videos? It talks something like this.
It's like Microsoft Sam or something.
People of Reddit, what was the funniest time you shit yourself?
Oh, no.
What?
You know those fucking shitty Reddit videos with the fucking text-to-speech?
Sometimes those aren't text-to-speech, though.
Yeah, but they're not as funny when they're not. Anyway,
does anyone have any lines they want to suggest, or any particular excerpts they'd like to suggest?
But yeah, you can see how that would just kind of get exhausting after a while. Because you're just basically listening to Sonic reading for the question. Because the narrator is Little Pip.
one.
Actually, probably what would be more funny if it was all read in the voice of Sonic, or all done in the voice of Filthy Frank.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, boss, I have a info.
Reading fucking 600,000 words. I mean, reading 600,000 words in Sonic's voice would be fucking murder. Reading it in Filthy Frank's voice, Jesus Christ. You'd be fucking dead.
You sound like you're a smoker.
Apparently, Imperator here is suggesting that you do Steel Hooves with a Fluttershy voice.
I don't know if I can.
Read Fluttershy lines as Steel Hooves. But you need to
be really close to your microphone.
Because I actually pitched him down and put like a filter effect on the voice, so it would be kind of hard to do live.
You'd have to have one of those fucking funny voice modulators.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we got access to those at such short notice.
No, you have to record it, and that's effort.
Maybe we should talk to them.
Absolutely not.
Don't be a silly sausage, Volvo!
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
I think this is not working. This is not working at all.
What's not working? BG's mic.
Yes, and I think this is probably not as good an idea as we thought it was going to be.
Well, no, we're winding down now. We could talk about something interesting. We could bring up a topic that we want to talk about that is Twitch friendly. What do we want to talk about? What's interesting in this fandom?
I leapt to the window, slipping into Sats and taking aim with the first dark shadow I saw.
Wham! Wham!
The first shot went through the bloodless back. The second tore a hole in its left wing. I fell from the sky, only for another to take its place, lunging towards my window.
Blam! Blam! Blam!
I wish I could tear a hole in the left wing.
Fucking. Oh, sorry. I'm leafing through it. I just had to, because you know the way Cray's rambling, just kind of when he's reading the video, he just kind of goes blam. Blam.
There was one narrator that decided to just for whatever reason he just said it in his Velvet Remedy voice by accident, he just went he just went blam.
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 The
Oh, is
most
that the-
polite blamming in the universe.
It was the guy. Who was it before Craze Rambling that did it? Scorch or whatever his name. He instead of going blam, he just went blam. The door exploded with a blam. All the sound effects, all the blams were just this bland,
With a
this
blam.
deadpan blam that he
So
said.
nonchalant.
Blam!
It's beautiful.
It wasn't even that.
I'm trying to find a scene with Zenith so that like half the scene can just be silent.
Exactly.
Great.
And
Fucking...
thus proving your point that she's basically a paper doll. Eh?
It might not change the plot. Probably won't.
I mean,
unfortunate.
the scene that I was just reading from was the scene where like it's their excuse to just kind of like go down and rescue some zebras, but like Zenith, in lieu of personality, just kind of jumps out of the Sky Bandit and is Spider-Man.
Spider-Pone. Spider-Pone. Jumping out as a Spider-Pone.
Slicing them up.
She's not a pone, she's a zeb.
I'm trying to remember the Crusaders.
I want to point out that Pro Horizons actually did a better job of characterizing Zenith than the original Fic did.
Wait, she was in PH?
Yeah, she was in PH.
I was going to say, I'm trying to remember which chapter it is that they're in Old Olney, and then I remembered that Old Olney has absolutely no defining characteristics, so I can't remember what chapter it's in.
Nothing happened in Old Olney.
The summary, eh?
Don't you mean Old Olney? There's a name there somewhere.
Zenith. Wait, okay. Zenith's only mentioned by name once in this chapter? Okay.
Okay, cool.
Am I even looking at the right chapter?
Yes, press F to give respects in chat.
Control plus F. I am Control plus Fing. See, that's the fucking Scootaloo thing. Okay, that's definitely not the right chapter.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh
Is
god.
it the naughty one?
No, it's no. That's not even in the fanfic story. Okay, so I know when they get to Canterlot because it says, you know, Shadow of the Ministries, and that's like the one that's fucking 50,000 words long.
Yes, one where they say, we cut out all the bits that weren't relevant.
Yeah, and then proceed to have the longest chapter of the story.
That had so much shit that wasn't relevant.
I mean, fuck, dude.
That whole chapter is just, it's filled with reams of useless nonsense.
Honestly, I skipped that. I got halfway through and then just decided, and I just skipped them. Because I just thought, this is just a side quest. I'm probably not going to miss much from just skipping this. And I did. Were there any interesting things that happened in that chapter that are actually relevant later on?
What in which what? In which chapter?
The Canterlot ones.
I mean,
besides Lion and Mouse, that was it.
I mean, my takeaway from Canterlot is that it's just so it's like the it's like playing through Broken Steel. It's
dead money, but not.
No, it's you know the world is just filled with all of this clutter that at this point in the game is just completely useless to you. Like, even if you're crafting your own weapons, you are being doused with so much ammunition and like all these new weapons that it's just like you don't have time to sort through all this clutter, and it just bogs you down. And that's what that's what that chapter is like, because it's just all of this stuff that you have to claw through to find anything of value. And it's like there should be like all of the climaxes of so many subplots, and they do happen in this chapter. It's just buried in with tons of other random world building that at this point in the story we kind of don't care about.
I could make a joke about Little Pip and climaxes, but
No.
Nope, let's not bring that one up.
But
There
yeah,
are too many climaxes. We'll say that is all.
Yeah, that was a thing that happened in the story, and that's all.
That's. Do they just go straight to Aldani?
Let's see the catalog art. So, from the chat, our dear friend Tempest42 says the catalog art foreshadowed that Celestia fled the city. They got Lion and Mouse, and Luna was cremated. Aha.
I don't think any of those really. Well,
I mean, Lion and Mouse only exists as kind of.
They aren't really important characters.
Yeah, they're not characters. They're basically. Oh look, the dragon's now a mouse, and one backbone is alive.
They're a surprise tool that actually help you later, like once, and then disappear.
Yeah, they are the pet removal tool for Pegasus.
They're just like one of those they're like a one-time use power-up that you use, and then that's it. They're like a consumable character.
They're basically that cannon from Mulan that takes out the entire Hun army.
Here we go. I found the bit that I want. It's the bit in the firehouse.
He's found his bits, boys.
It's the bit in the firehouse where Little Pip is just talking to Zenith. And for once in the story, there's actually like lines of dialogue without a whole fucking paragraph of description between them. Okay.
Zenith lay still for almost a full minute before getting up and moving about the kitchen. She had to brace herself on sloping counters as she rifled through the cabinets. Well, at least you're as good at following doctor's orders as the rest of us, I chuckled as the zebra started pulling pots. Zenith, I asked as a worry from the days before it flooded back. Do you trust me? Without turning from her task, she replied by asking, it was a dodge, but still a fair question. Do you trust me as a person? She said simply. I was taken aback by the cool, honest answer. Why not? She said as she opened the refrigerator door and pulled out a hunk of something covered in grotesquely mutated mold. She set it on the table and I caught it as it tried to slide away, recoiling from the sight of it. Zenith continued, crouching to check drawers. She finally pulled a knife from one of the drawers. She set it on the counter. I caught it too as she turned to look at me. She looked me over. I wasn't sure what to feel. I wanted to argue with her, but a large part of me suspected she was right and cursed her for being so observant. Do you think I'm evil? Zenith stopped, looking at me oddly, then laughed. I'm sorry, yeah, this is.
You know you got to animate this now, right?
I'm actually lightheaded from like lack of oxygen from doing that.
You should animate that scene.
What's your opinion on the road?
I feel like animating that would actually be quite slow.
Well, half of it is just a still frame on Zenith's fucking cardboard cutout face.
Well, no, I just mean it would as you know, watching it would just be quite slow because you just have like a dry read of like a bunch of lines of the story.
But what do you mean by that? Azealia?
Yeah, Azealia. What's your opinion on the road? With almost no description for the dialogue. I have not read the road, but you know already it sounds like something that would be a lot more my speed. I mean, even then, it's not entirely a fair comparison, just because the way Fallout Equestria is written, there is a lot of padding between the lines of dialogue, as I have just demonstrated.
Yes, I think it depends on how you're. You know, I think I mean, it's weird because I think I found when reading your stories, Horse, it was almost a bit jarring because I was sort of used to there being a load of like padding between the dialogue, as you say, and then the fact that your dialogue is almost so to the point and blunt. It seemed extremely blunt, considering it was also Atom Smasher's bluntness.
Fucking Atom Smasher's style of talking.
And so it literally just seemed almost like things happened very quickly, almost quicker than I expected them to.
Yeah.
In the way that you wrote it, which is interesting. You know,
Yeah.
it does mean that your story's shorter, though.
Yeah, it's a lot shorter.
How many less chapters you would have in FOE if it was in the same style as you wrote. That'd be calculation.
Because I mean, some of my dialogue scenes, they're almost like screenplays.
Yes.
Just in terms of like how little, description there is between lines of dialogue.
So now we're on the point of the podcast, folks, where we just basically talk to chat. So this could almost be edited out of the YouTube version, and we could just do Gallant could probably just do clips that are interesting, although he might not be bothered to do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you have the energy for that, Gallant?
Sorry?
Like this last half of the podcast is going to be
half. I'm gonna go and fucking make me dinner in
all right, not
10,
half.
15 minutes.
The last tiny bit of this podcast. You eat your fucking meals at fucking 10 o'clock at night.
My sleep schedule is all fucked up.
You silly boy. As is the true mark of a home worker.
Well, I mean, we're all doing that lately.
Yeah.
I mean, that's assuming that you don't work in retail or one of the very important things like the police or health service.
Yeah.
Who needs police? Am I right? Haha, boogaloo.
That's the weirdest fucking ACAB shout out that I've ever heard.
But
anyway,
seeing as we're kind of drawing to a close.
3 tabs of Fallout Equestria opened. Like just the 3 tabs of the story.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be much else we can squeeze out of this for entertainment value.
Yeah.
So I think probably be good to close up shop for the night.
It's been fun.
It has been fun, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a new part. I'm going to point out who we'll be having on next. I believe the Wandering Zebra's up next, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the Wandering Zebra is our next guest, and they'll be on in 2 weeks' time on the 15th of April. So until next time, this has been Post-Apoc Horse Talk, and I hope you had some laughs and guffaws with us, because now we're all going to be very boring again. Have a good night.
10,000 fists in my ass!